Oh, guess who's back with another panel, pals, mate? It's me, Skull Ryan, and...
Man Stash, hello?
You know it, pal. So, rolling on from the excitement of last week, we just couldn't stop reading Ultimate Spider-Man 2000. So, we've read a little bit more. How many issues more did we do? We stopped at 13, 7? And we're now on 21.
Yeah, about 7.
Nice. Cool. So, last time on Ultimate Spider-Man, he got his ass kicked by the Green Goblin, Electro, and the Kingpin. Who've we got this time?
This time we got Doc Ock and Kraven the Hunter.
Mate, Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter? Is he Australian?
Representation for you, dude. Was it nice getting represented?
I was so confused because my head was like trying to it keeps thinking of Russian accents.
I was reading them in Russian, even though he literally his first word is "good eye." It's like so fucking hell. It's like at least you got like more than just the kangaroo. It's just unfortunate that it's by far the shittest Kraven has ever been.
He's like an actual joke in this.
He is, and this is my only. Well, I wouldn't say only. This is probably my biggest problem with this series as a whole. My 4 favourite bad guys are all treated like shit. We've got not to spoil later, but Kraven, who's normally sick, he's normally a boss. Like he's the dude who defeated Spider-Man. He did it. Like, say what you want, he won, and then killed himself because he didn't kill himself because he was sad or nothing. He kills himself because that's it, mate. He'd done what he'd set out to do, and he's like bowing out. He's a ledge. Shocker, obviously, is a huge joke in this. Mysterio.
I love when he knows Spidey's there.
Well, one Shocker.
No, when Kraven's got the shotgun, and he knows that Spidey's like arrived into his mansion.
Dude. Yeah, and it's just like he's smiling. Oh. Yeah, mate. Kraven's Last Hunt, sick. When is that getting like adapted or like an animated story, dude?
And Marvel doesn't have the. They don't care.
They don't know,
like,
mate.
if only they had DC's principle when they were doing all those animated films.
We got a slew of DC movies. We got like 2 a year for about 10 years, all animated. Most were shit, yeah, but at least they were trying still, while Marvel, owned by Disney, who pioneered animation, don't have any. What's that about? They could bring back old voice actors, they could do anything, but they just don't want it.
Spidey would be the prime, thing to take.
Exactly, dude. Even this comic in general, they could just do arc by arc animated movies and they'd make millions off it. Like direct-to-video shit. But, well,
Even, I miss when their shows would actually try to adapt. Like, they would change it in slight ways, but they would still try to adapt the stories.
Rather than just try and sell toys at friggin' all the superstores, dude. Because now, that 2017 one, suddenly everyone's Venom. Now everyone's anti-Venom. Make sure you go and buy that mask as well.
That's why I get annoyed when I remember I made my Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man video, and people were like, dude, we get the same stories all the time. Like, this is something cool and new. I'm like, we don't, though. That's the fucking problem. We don't get these adapted.
Not properly, mate.
That's what that's the point, is, we don't actually ever get these stories adapted in TV shows or movies. So, how can you say, we see it all the time? Because we don't. They don't adapt them.
I'll never forgive them for having a cartoon called Ultimate Spider-Man and not making it this. It was nothing to do with Ultimate Spider-Man.
He just had the middle part in his hair, and they're like, hey, look, guys.
Yeah, they just stole, Bagley's hair design, and they're like, right, that'll do. Ultimate Spider-Man, my ass, mate. This, 21 issues in now, this has been boss. And it's been, gritty, it's not just, it's, I'm not going to say real, but as we said last time, this Ultimate Universe, it's defo darker than usual. A man dies of a heart attack in this.
Justin Hammer.
Yeah, gets rinsed. What did you reckon?
You're a real piece of work. He's like,
Tells him
you
right after
slander
me.
my name. I love,
So,
um, like Spidey's interactions with everyone.
he's a cheeky bugger, isn't he?
He's funny as he's he's just entertaining constantly.
I like how he
He
speaks
has
his
like
mind.
he has a personality, whereas I feel that like the new Ultimate Spider-Man doesn't have one to an extent.
Because we see so little of the new one. He's not really had a
Yeah,
chance to,
like
like,
that's yeah, we
talk
don't actually
that shit, has
know
he?
him, and it's sad because it has the potential to do really well, but in the current direction it's heading, I'm not really excited for it.
Yeah, it could be well better. But, well, as you said the other day, the other one's now been Spider-Man longer than this one was ever alive. And he's done a fraction. He's accomplished
Have you,
not even a little bit of what Ultimate's already done. Ultimate's took down now four really, major villains. Wow, what's new Ultimate done currently? Except lose.
that's like now I bring that up all the time. I'm like, well, actually, the OG Ultimate Spider-Man has completed being Spider-Man, like way quicker than this one has.
That was something funny in this story. They mentioned that the Green Goblin fight was 3 months ago. So we know for a fact that this Peter only survives like a year because it's before his next birthday that he gets killed, innit? Or like just after. So,
It's so
so he's
depressing.
already like 30% into his life as Spider-Man in issue 21.
Oh, that's insane.
Shit, dude. Poor kid. Dr. Octopus,
Like,
mate, he's buff. Why?
I actually, but the thing is, though, is it weird that I prefer more built Doc
Not
Ock
if
as
you're
opposed
a
to like,
90s cartoon connoisseur like me, mate.
but even like I love Mark Bagley's white suit design. Like that's my favorite Doc Ock
Yeah,
design.
like when with the cocaine satellite.
Yeah, that's perfect to
Yes,
me. Like
style.
Eric Larson, Mark Bagley was just that's like my favorite Doc Ock.
Yeah.
I wish we had a figure of it. We don't, and it really
What?
saddens me.
It's like outside of the green boiler suit. That's like his iconic look.
Well, like I think the best you could do is if you buy the Jigsaw action figure and then like somehow put tentacles on him.
Put the arms on it.
It'd be like
Perfect.
a white suit,
Yeah.
and then you have to swap the heads.
Could you not take like a kingpin and
Like
paint
too
his vest
big, mate.
green instead of
Way
purple?
too
It's too
fat.
big. That's-
He's a giant figure, mate. He's like on par with the Hulk in Marvel Legends.
because of his weight.
It's pure muscle. Like remember when
You'd
in
have to be a
ASM,
daredevil to dare challenge me. Holy shit, what a line.
I remember in the Bronze Age where Fisk like crawled out of the sewer, and then this car's like, "Hey, that's Kingpin," and they try to like run him over, and because of his like pure muscle, the fucking driver dies, but he doesn't.
No fucking way, dude.
Like the car's like in a total wreck, driver dead, but he's like
Oh no.
still kicking.
Nice.
Fucking unstoppable. I feel bad for Vanessa at that point.
Yeah, mate, Christ. She will need a wheelchair. I was only reading Kingpin's debut today, mate, and like from the very beginning, he kicks the shit out of Spider-Man using just his fucking hands. His laser cane gets took off him, so he just gets.
I love how he genuinely just like he doesn't really need weapons.
Full
You
on,
like as a
dude.
hero, you'd be like, "Oh, I've knocked his cane out. I got the upper hand now." You don't really like this.
No. He's got to have something, some power, whether he's a mutant or what, because it's just unrealistic. In the new animated series where Spidey webs his hands and he literally looks at him like, bitch, please, and snaps it like nothing. Like this thing held up a cable car and didn't snap in the movie. But Wilson Fisk casually just done and dusted. He truly is
like
an outlaw.
What's his like regime? Like what is his like calorie intake? What's his
literally? Yeah. I want to know. Is this achievable? Day 14 of my Kingpin diet.
You disappear for like a month, and then you just come back home as like full on Kingpin son.
You know who else disappeared for like a month? The schemer, Richard Fisk, returned. They thought he was dead. He was. That was funny as well, dude. When Vanessa's like, Wilson, I found this newspaper article on our son. It says he's dead. And Kingpin goes, no son of mine could die so easily. And he's right. It's like,
he's like Richard Fisk is a cheeky bugger, mate. He doesn't die.
Yeah. But like, she goes, you lied to me. You told me Richard was staying in Europe to keep doing his lessons. And this newspaper article says he's dead. Kingpin's like, he's not dead. He can't be dead. He's my son.
I love how even when he sees that he's the schemer, he just goes into this like paralyzed
catatonic
state. Yeah. He doesn't like move.
He's just sitting there, mate. That's the only way to take him down, apparently.
He figured out Richard was a part of the Snyder cult. He's just in complete shock.
Fisk would get on with Luthor, wouldn't he? Both businessmen. Both have the same.
They share
routine.
They're gonna share their like. What? How do you make your head so shiny? And then Lex is like, well, "I'm glad you're off."
Kryptonite.
Doesn't that cause cancer? No,
what?
Fine.
He didn't know. Oh shit!
Like it's funny as just like in Smallville, Lana Lang wears like a kryptonite necklace.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, wow, you're gonna fucking die because of that. Like you're cooked, mate. Take it off.
If it's a necklace, it's hanging like by the chest, then by the heart. Yeah, she's fucked.
I'm sort of tired of that show. How like everything is related to the day Superman appeared, like because of the meteor had a meteor shower.
Yeah,
and then every villain's like related to that.
There was something similar in The Flash, where literally like everybody was made by the same particle accelerator explosion bullshit. So every new episode, they're like, "There's a new bad guy," and they always go, "Where did they get their powers?" Oh, same place all the other fucking ones did, they?
Like that's when I sent you that Hulk panel. he's like changing. Oh, what's happening to me?
Issue 50 of Spider-Man, and he's just like, "Whoa, I'm sticking to this wall." Yeah, mate, happens all the time.
Did you think it was painful with how dumb Flash was in this? You know, when like Kong was like, "Hey, like, dude, Parker's Spider-Man."
Yeah, I'm sure.
Flash was like, no man.
There's no spider. He got bit by a genetically altered spider, but that doesn't mean anything.
But even like, I understand that like Flash has an ego and he just doesn't want to admit that Parker was really good at basketball.
Yeah.
But he had over 100 points in his first ever game.
He didn't hide it very
And
well, did he?
But Kong was like, using it as a thing of he randomly just became good. And then he's like, "Oh no, man, he wasn't that good." No, it's like, yes, he fucking was.
Well, he was. I nearly blamed Dan Slott then, but it's Brian Bendis in it. I'm positive Brian Bendis must have saw his old bullies in Flash, because, like I said last time, he's got no redeeming features. All of that has gone to Kong,
and
where
Kong's
Flash now is just a stupid bully. Even Love and Spider-Man went to Kong, and it's like, I understand self-inserting, but if you're not doing it like Marv Wolfman, why bother?
That's the thing. He did it like Marv Wolfman, and he did it in a way to make him
Later
cool.
on,
He
it
wanted to have his
evolved.
cake and eat it as well.
Yeah. He evolves into Marv Wolfman levels when they introduce Kitty Pryde. But as of now, he's literally, Kong looks like Bendis, talks like Bendis, and has another character's good features. There's what?
Where it's like, that's just, when there's certain close-up panels where you think, that's just Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, there was a lot of close-up panels where it was just the face. There was one when Aunt May was telling Peter off for coming home late. When Hammer was offering Peter money, it zooms in on half of Spidey's face for some reason. Very zoomed in.
Time?
It must be. Because could they not have just done in the bit for, you know what? It's so time-filling. When Dr. Octopus is talking to Hammer's picture, and he's there's 4 panels, there's 2 full pages of just black background Dr. Octopus talking to himself. You could have easily condensed them into half of that space used. That could have been just one.
It was definitely I could see how a part of it was a bit jarring, because you get really quickly through, you go through quickly a lot of the stuff, and then randomly there'll just be word vomit.
Yeah, mate.
But then you breeze past the first half of the book, but then all of a sudden it's news report, fucking 10 paragraphs of dialogue.
That bit where Hammer turns up at his factory and Dr. Octopus has the media out, and he says 40 times, "Come out, Hammer," and it's just one long box of just the same thing repeated over and over. It's dude, we know.
But also, in my head, it doesn't read right. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to imagine
there's an awkward pause. Unless
that's
there's
why whenever
yeah,
there was in Captain Marvel, there was an era where in the comics I would just keep repeating things 3 times, and
that wasn't an error. That was just Bendis. Right. You fell down.
That's where we got it from.
You fell down the stairs. Stairs?
The stairs. With steps.
You fell down the stairs.
The steps on the stairs.
Yeah.
Steps on the stairs.
Oh, we're locked in a loop.
Loop? It's definitely a bit prominent when you notice these dialogue patterns.
Yeah, mate. I will say,
I can find it in any random issue.
Yeah, it's scattered, mate. It is filling in time for the book. I do think this is probably the scariest Doc Ock's ever been, because it was quite gross when he's impaling people with his tentacles. 616 never did that shit. Cool. Yeah, it goes through that dude. It goes
through
the driver and nearly gets the woman as well.
I thought Emma's assistant was gonna die when he's you shouldn't be. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be mixed up in this. I thought
you didn't deserve this.
Impaled.
Yeah, it looked like it was going for air. Next, get a double kill.
And then, did you think the reveals were satisfactory in this issue or these series? Because you had Electro revealed that it was Hammer who gave his powers.
Yeah.
He revealed that Flint Martin was there. The iconic Flint
Which,
Martin.
this pisses me off. This Ultimate Universe has scorned the Sandman. There's a retcon later that Spider-Man, after running away, came back to ask for a lift or something and also fought Sandman. So, like, they completely, instead of giving Sandman his own story and developing him, Bendis basically goes, and yeah, back then, that day, he also fought Sandman. So what the fuck? He's just, on this single night, he's took down 3 of the Sinister Six, but only 2 on panel.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. I feel like it's sad in both Ultimate Universes, Sandman's just an afterthought.
Yeah. It's funny to me, actually, how, like, he got in a movie. Like, because I was raised on the 90s cartoon and had, like, no comic shops. I remember thinking Sandman was, like, the poor man's Hydro Man. Because, because he was in Enter Electro and I was like, well, who the hell's this guy? Because I only knew the animated cartoon, which has no Sandman. So I was like, who's this dude? And Funneland going to be in Spider-Man 3. I was always like, really? Sandman and not like Lizard or something?
Well, they also got his name wrong in the comic. It's
yeah.
I don't know who this Flint Marco is, but
I like how he's now got like another alias, as if Sandman, Flint Marco, and William Baker weren't enough. He's now got a 4th.
Did you ever like the William Baker thing? I thought it was just like confusing.
It's unnecessary because like Flint Marco's a cool fucking name, dude. Like you don't mess with someone called Flint. It's like a hard name.
We've known him for like at that point it would have been like 30 years or so, like as Flint Marco, and then now it's like, oh no, actually, it's William Baker. It's
like not even kind of close though, isn't it? If his name was like William Marco and he thought William was a bit of like a girl's name, that would have been a bit better because he's like that type of dumb muscle guy, isn't he? Doesn't want people knowing his name's William.
Coach?
Oh, hello, Will. The coach.
Didn't the coach like traumatize him or something? Like, wasn't he like really hard on Flint?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember some of the origin issue.
Oh no, it'll be from like the 90s, won't it? Where like
William Baker,
untold tales of Spider-Man type of bullshit.
Let's see. He as a child he learned how to steal. Young William loved going to the beach and building sandcastles.
Wow. You're kidding me. And what powers did he end up with when he got older?
But it's funny because they've attached an image William Baker as a child, and it's like him as a kid in a Speedo.
Is he wearing green?
Speedo's, he's got the stripes.
Just so you know. No way.
I'm trying to see they had the school thing. I could have sworn he had. I remember this part vaguely. He had developed a crush on his teacher, Miss Flint, but was heartbroken when he learned that she was engaged to a stockbroker.
Thought you were going to say the coach.
Could have sworn there was something that happened with the coach.
That's weird how he's named himself after like his crush.
It's like when the opposite of what you said, where he's like William would have been like too girly. He's like, no, I want to be named after a girl.
He's literally.
He did. He beat up his coach.
Why, Mr. Marco?
William to account. He has stated that he accepted money from the mob to throw one of his games. While a late recounting, William has stated that his friend Vic had racked up heavy gambling debts and threw the next game to get out of trouble. Whatever the case, William's coach figured out what happened and had him expelled. However, in a
Grass.
later account, William had stated that he violently assaulted his coach after he confronted him.
Didn't the Rose do something similar in like his debut? He was fixing footy games.
I remember in issue 260. Oh, what issue would that be? 261 or something like that?
One of like the New York Panthers or whatever the hell was working for him, throwing the games. But his little brother was like, "No, you're the best." He's like, "You're right, I am the best. Fuck the Rose."
Because in my head, even though I don't think it's linked, that issue where Spidey was holding the little girl on the footy field, and like all the guns were being shot.
I think that's
during, like, the Bronze Age, but the Rose wasn't until like 100 issues later.
I'm so bad with numbers. Rose debut issues Spider-Man. In the meantime, dude, what did you think of this new version of Gwen Stacy? 253 was the Rose.
He's
fighting all the dudes. He's fighting all the dudes, and in the foreground, Rose is just doing his gardening. This is the easy part. It's gonna be murder when Spidey faces Darrow.
Because I was also thinking, I think in the Bronze Age, around like the 160s, there was an issue where he was on a footy field being shot at. But
it doesn't like the whole 9 yards in the box.
I think so. I can't remember. All I know he was holding a girl getting shot at, and I think there was like a big fight on the field.
Nice.
But I will say this. As different as this Gwen is, she's more interesting than the 616 version. That's what I think of it. Like, she's just, at least she's interesting.
Yeah, 616 was very, like... every female character of that time was more or less the same. Just obsessed with the boy. Like...
Bah!
All she was asked about was getting a tumble from Peter. And, he was too busy Spider-Man.
Mary Jane was so different.
Yeah, mate, because she wasn't asked either way, was she?
Yeah, and she kept calling everyone like Daddy-O.
Yeah, because she'd travelled back in time from 1985, and come on, Dad.
Her and Mike would have been like,
oh, mate,
best, like...
Mary Jane and Mike Murdoch on the town. No way.
Oh, that could be like another team up. Mike Murdoch and Mary Jane.
Sick, dude. I thought, like, she was more interesting than normal Gwen, but I still didn't really like her that much. Mostly because, yeah, you see someone getting bullied. You did still pull a fucking knife. Like, big extreme love. And, like, the introduction bit was quite cool, where she was on about, like, comparing all these new superpowered people to, like, the meteor that took out the dinosaurs. But then it kept going to, like, Peter and Kong, like, looking at her as if to be like, wow, this is the new girl. I was like, alright, mate. She was just rambling after a bit. She's only, like, 14, so why is she, like, giving this philosophical fucking speech to us?
I liked how, realistic Bendis wrote, I don't know, like from my experiences at least, MJ when she got mad.
Yeah, like, do you like that new Gwen guy?
Recount moments where it's been just like that. He's like, are you mad? No. You see Matt? No. Are you sure? Yes.
And all he said as well was like, yeah, she seems kind of cool. And she was fucking fuming. Mary, come on.
That's like, it's just how I was like in my head, like I've had interactions just like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I think I really like about this series is there's so many times where you can point like, hey, that's like how people talk.
Cool. Are you saying Spider-Man is a relatable character?
I don't know. I'm not under Stan
Whoa.
Lee.
God, no. Who hasn't had
I think
4
he
arms
was for
one
the.
afternoon?
I think in the '60s, he like that's exactly what they were saying. Like, oh my god, my friend says "cool cat" all the time.
I think the circles that Stan ran in, mate. Certainly. You know, he invented comic books.
He invented friends as a concept.
Yeah. New York,
Did you
all stands, baby.
Did you like the confrontation scene with Aunt May? Because she was like, I sort of liked
Yeah.
how every lie was just immediately just destroyed.
Mate, she rinsed him everywhere and, like, he had no chance. It was actually quite good because we're used to seeing Aunt May as obviously this little Billy bullshitter. Oh, I'm dying, Peter, come hold me, bullshit. This one's tough. This one's hard. Like,
she stands her ground the whole time.
Yeah. And everything he says, she's got like a response to. She just has him off everywhere. He's got no chance.
I like how this may create tension through, actually being like a guardian, where Aunt May in the 616 creates tension by just being annoying.
I'm dying. Yeah. Just that one's an attention seeker while this one does like get shit done. Last podcast we discussed how she in the last podcast we discussed that scene where she was like, I know we didn't really choose to be the last two left. And he's like getting a bit upset, thinking she means he doesn't want to be with her, but she's like, no, we're all we've got left. And now in this one, she's like,
crazy though,
she's saying, if I'm your guardian, mate, you better fucking buckle up.
But it is like, it's probably one of the most realist conversations I think they've ever had in their 60-year history. Of like, they didn't choose to be together. There was nothing that could have said like, or they could have predicted that Aunt May and Peter would basically be the last, remaining Parkers.
Like when they were only meant to look after him for like the week while Richard and Mary went into wherever the fuck they were going on that plane.
Are we sure they're dead?
So it's they just left him with it. Like, this kid's a nerd. They're all gonna call him Puny Parker. Let's leave him. And then hippie Uncle Ben and May just got stuck with, like in the Amazing movies, don't they literally, like, he's just sleeping over. And it's like, right, they're dead. It's just us.
They do like Richard and Mary. They go to the airport to catch a plane. And it's like the Spectacular Spider-Man thing. Like they've dyed their hair blonde.
Yeah. Got away with it, dude. Then if they ever tried to come back now and Peter's like, Chameleon, I'm not falling for this again. I'm like, no, it's a...
Immediately like punches them but doesn't realize it's not. Just like, oh.
Head comes off again, but this time it's a bit gory, mate. Shit. What else did we see?
What did you think of the fight?
Fun. The final Doc Ock fight I thought was sick because Spidey had him on the ropes the whole time, dude. Like he was dodging. Doc Ock only got hold of him once.
Mate, I loved the like homages to ASM issue 3. Like they
recreated the nuclear facility.
Like,
yeah.
They recreated the cover of Doc Ock holding him up with the tentacles, and Doc Ock was the first to break the webs, like in the comics, like in the 616.
Oh shit! Yeah. He says that I didn't know they could break. He's like shitting himself immediately. That first fight was cool too, yeah, where like Doc Ock beats the shit out of him at the nuclear plant.
Was it a bit jarring how like the end of that one issue was him falling in there, and then the next issue like he's just had his ass kicked?
Yeah. It's like
you're like, what happened?
That was creepy as well. How like they kept showing Doc Ock attacking, but it was like revealed he was attacking. It wouldn't just show him starting to attack. Like, there's the bit where they're at the press conference and suddenly behind that guy, you see the metal thing move, and it's Doc's tentacle. And then when the doctor calls Hammer, and it's like on the video screen, and Hammer's like, "Can you hear me? Why have you called?" And then it slowly zooms out, and he's been impaled, and it was Doc Ock.
There was so many. I think with Bagley, he knows how to like lay out a comic book really well.
Yeah.
His framing, like his framework, is so good, and everything looks cinematic.
You know what? I did say last time that it felt more like the Ultimate Universe was more like movie pictures. Like, you know what I mean? They were written like movies, and I remember seeing the art. Like, they got told to make it widescreen as if it was a film, and there is a lot of them flat, wide panels, isn't there? Like, it's not
like,
grid-based.
Even like you were saying about how they wasted a lot of just page time.
Yeah.
Like, like with Doc Ock, there's that open panel where he's just talking to the thing. That feels like a movie.
Yeah. But like, it zooms around and you see Hammer's thing. That was it's a bit sad in a way, actually, how Hammer literally didn't really do nothing to deserve Otto's wrath. He did do stuff wrong, but it's Otto's delirium that makes him blame Hammer.
Yeah, he just didn't know what the fuck was happening.
He thinks Hammer caused the explosion that made the Green Goblin, but no, dude. We were still friends when that happened.
I can't really remember. Does Doc Ock follow up on the fact that he's figured out Peter? Because I can't remember, like, if he does.
I don't think he defo does, because I think he fights him one more time before Ultimate 6. But in Ultimate 6, him and Norman discuss the fact that they both created Spider-Man, because they both made the spider, you know what I mean? He does discuss it.
Do you ever feel like shit when the villain figures that out? Like, do you ever get that feeling of just
where
dread?
you're like, oh. Well,
like,
this one didn't hit as well because he was already in prison. But
like in the Batman, he's like Bruce Wayne, and he keeps saying his name over and over again.
In Arkham City, it still gives me chills. Where he's like, by the end of tonight, I'll be a hero, just like you, Batman. Oh, mate, fucking boss.
His voice is incredible,
dude. Yeah. So yeah, when it's done that way, fantastic. Even like, I like it when the villain reveals it to the hero himself. But like, for example, in the Raimi Spider-Man movie, where he attacks Aunt May and then Peter thinks to himself, oh shit, he knows. I would have preferred the Goblin to just randomly call him Peter or some shit, you know what I mean?
Do you think it's like a good story choice or a cop-out when the villain's like, oh, I know your identity, but I'm not going to say anything?
Depends, you know, like, if they fucking hate them to the degree where they want to be the one to kill him. Like, I'm so sick of talking about Mac Gargan. But Gargan does exactly this at the end of Marvel Knights. He tells Peter himself, don't worry, I'm not going to tell anyone, because that's my weapon to use against you. And then he never gets to because he never gets to because he forgets who Spider-Man is. He never sees him since, yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. But
maybe he's just like shy. Like he's got it all planned out, but he just doesn't want to do it.
But some baddies, if it's just kind of like, well, this dude's getting on my nerves now, I'll just reveal it. But if it's psychotic, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, not psychotic, but it's mental. Like, I can't see Scarecrow, even though ironically Scarecrow did this in Arkham Knight. I can't see Scarecrow going on telly and going, Bruce Wayne's Batman. I can only see him trying to break... He doesn't care, he's trying to break Bruce Wayne himself, you know what I mean? But if, like, the Kingpin found out Peter Parker was Spider-Man. That should be front page news.
I like when later on when Kingpin copyrights or trademarks the name Spider-Man. Like
he buys the Wrestling Federation and sells action figures and toys, and he literally shows Peter one, and he goes, "Look, I made money off this. Did you?"
Big Willie's the best, mate.
Oh, mate. And he was relevant in this as well. I did like they kind of carried on the plot thread of Hammer sold Electro to Kingpin to get the contracting rights to build this nuclear plant that Dr. Octopus now attacks. So it kind of does follow on. And Captain Stacy as well says, doesn't he? He says to Ben Urich, he goes, "Nice one, exposing the Kingpin. Now everyone wants to be the fucking Kingpin. Dickhead." Ben's like, "Oh."
He's a bit angsty, isn't he?
Yeah, everyone is. Everyone but Peter Parker is a bit of an asshole in this universe. Even Captain America's not a nice man.
Oh, come on, Cap, you're just old-fashioned, says the incestual couple.
Yeah, what the fuck? It wasn't even the couple saying it, was the Wasp who were going, "I think it's sweet that brother fucks sister." What? Wait, I don't think Hank hit you hard enough, love.
But it's also like, it's just the thing of that wasn't even trending. Like, why do they do that?
I don't know. Yeah, it's not like a new, like, oh, my life. It's not a political hot topic. Why reference it?
That Ultimates writer was on some weird shit. Like, just to have that cannibalism, seek help. It was Mark Millar, wasn't it? He's fucking weird.
Yeah. He had the Blob eat the Wasp. He had...
Oh. He did Trouble.
You did Trouble? My life. Who else did we see new in this, dude? Doc Kraven. Yeah, go on.
From the first 13 we read here, or before, and then like 7 we read here, which one's been your favorite reading group?
This. Because as good as the first few issues are, it takes too long to get into it. He's like, this is his origin story. It takes 8 issues for him to meet the Green Goblin. And then the Green Goblin was more or less just a monster to punch who just said Parker over and over. This one, you had a competent villain who actually did beat the shit out of Spidey. You had like a reasonable plan. He was unhinged, but you could see the logic he was going through.
Mate, did you speaking of Green Goblin.
Ooh.
He's got a pretty big story next, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know what?
The next few issues?
He does, and this next few, he's boss. Like, the Green Goblin we saw last time was just a monster. Coming back now, this is Norman Osborn, this dude. This is where he truly, like, shows he is the villain of Spider-Man.
It's like, I feel like it was just the immediate effects of the transformation. Like, his body was trying to comprehend what the fuck just happened to him.
This Norman Osborn we've got coming up shows why he should be like considered Spidey's ultimate foe, especially in this universe, because he's got like some reasonable points. He's got a good point with some of the shit he says.
It must be pretty rough for your body to like have to handle all that shit.
Yeah. What did he do? He like injected himself with himself and like turned him into the Green Goblin.
Did they ever properly...
That reasoning blows my mind. He was like, well, we injected Peter Parker with Spider and got Spider-Man. Norman's like, well, if I inject Norman with Norman, I should get Norman squared. I should get Man.
The origin of man.
He's just injected himself with his own blood.
Listen here, man.
Oh. It's kicking off, dude. What was your favourite between 1 to 14 or 14 to 21?
I think I can't remember the issue numbers because they sort of blur together in this series.
Yeah.
But I definitely like. I'm pretty sure it was the last issue that we read.
Oh,
Even like
13,
just the way
where
he.
he
No,
confront.
I meant
No,
like
I'm.
issue 21,
Oh,
where
yeah, mate.
like he easily disposes of Kraven. I love how he's like, "You don't
And
want to do this. Like, please stop." And then he just,
he
it just,
warned him. He
yeah,
did warn him.
yeah. But it was also nice to see people like cheer him.
Yeah, dude, that baffled me. I was like, oh my god, these people want Spidey to win. And then he stops and actually discusses to the media why he does what he does. And everyone's like, holy shit, this Spider-Man guy's actually kind of cool.
It's like the one of the only times where Peter's like, "I wear the mask so I can protect people."
Yeah. And they love it, mate. Jonah's watching and he's seething and he cuts to Jonah and Robbie. And Jonah's like, fuck.
Even didn't like they say that like seems like he's not as bad as you make him out to be.
Yeah, because he bumps into Jonah on the street, doesn't he, and webs his shoes. But he's like laughing at him. He's like, I thought he was going to hit me.
He was saying like he was like ranting about the things he was writing. He's like, "Well,
Yeah.
I gotta say to you, like, right to your face, Mister." He's like, "Keep it up." Like I get a laugh out of him.
It's
and he just sort of
hilarious.
hops out of the way.
Yeah. And then it shows that he's webbed his shoes to the fucking floor.
But even for the previous batch, issue 13 was definitely my favorite one.
Yeah.
Just the way that he told MJ.
Nice little sit down, slow issue, but like good character issue. Which is it's the main bit of Spider-Man in it. Like it is soap opera for boys.
Like Bendis understands just how to write the dynamic between the important characters.
Yeah. Like that that Aunt May scene was boss, where she was telling him off. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm having another heart attack. It was like she sat him down, she told him, if you're in this house, you're obeying the house rule.
He's fucking grounded.
He's grounded, dude. How are you gonna fight supervillains grounded? That was fun as well. Good bit of like the Parker Luck thing of one of them wins, the other loses. Like Spider-Man's finally seen as like maybe he's not so bad. He stops the supervillain, and the media are kind of like, oh shit, good fella. Goes home and gets grounded.
Yeah, 616 would be like his win is that he just finally didn't lose a fight, and then he goes home, and then and then the electric goes out, and then Aunt May has another heart attack. So, did you have a favorite issue from the batches?
Like you said, it's tricky. They all blend together. Probably 21. But as I was saying before, dude, in all of Ultimate Spider-Man, my top 4 villains all get treated like shit. Like Kraven here, he gets one bombed, which fair play is just a dude. But they do build him up as having not powers, but they build him up as being at least competent, don't they? Like
even it felt like he would do something.
That scene where he's in the school and he's like sniffing the air and checking the damage, and then he's looking around and it shows Peter's face being like, oh shit, is he gonna like sniff me out now? Then he turns up in his lion vest and everything and you're like, oh, it's on. No, mate. But between him, Shocker, Hobgoblin and Mysterio, all 4 get treated like shit. So
it is embarrassing for him because like Peter's even telling him, don't do this.
Yeah, and then he gets arrested at the end of it. And you know what? Again, not to spoil, next time we see him, he does go for a bit of revenge. And even though he's more powerful, he's somehow worse. He is the joke of the comic. Like, he teams up with other supervillains and they all basically go, shut up, Kraven. He goes, oh, okay.
I thought his like dialogue was, or his agent's dialogue was just really annoying after a while because he just keeps saying it, and then isn't he meant to be Australian too?
Yeah, because it's an Australian show, yeah.
And like that's not what he would sound like.
And like
I haven't heard Australians go like crave baby. Like the fuck.
he had a Calypso who wasn't Calypso. I don't remember what her name was. But then he was also trying to shag Betty Brant. And then
what did he say about the Calypso one? He was like Wakandi Yao or something.
Yeah. And like she doesn't say nothing, and then she gets arrested at the end. Ridiculous.
I think Betty Brant's like the most butchered one.
Oh yeah, she's like not a villain, but she's certainly not a nice person in this whole. Like that carries on through the whole series.
Could you imagine like 616 Betty just doing that though, going off to find Kraven the Hunter?
Yeah, just to shag him. Like, this Dark Ock though does go on to be like a top level threat. I feel like Bendis decides like at the start before he writes, he decides if he thinks a villain's cool or not. And if he thinks they're cool, he'll do them really well. If he thinks they're not, he won't do anything to try and make them cool. He'll just make them jokes. Like Doc Ock was, he did a good Doc Ock.
Did you like the eye thing? How his eyes were like almost seared together?
Mate, been a Miguel. Like with the you can't see bright lights.
It was pretty intense.
It was a good way to make his
Pym made an appearance.
Stupid god. Yeah, Hank Pym, and he didn't kill him. He was like, that's the first dude he impales, and it wasn't Ant-Man.
I feel like as soon as I saw his name, besides just ignoring the fact that he'd appear in later issues, you could just tell me like, name drop, he's not dying. There's no, you know, he's somehow gonna live.
Because like, how did Doc Ock escape? We see him kill one dude, and then he's just out and about.
Is it sort of like, I guess, how Sam Raimi did it as well? Like, there's a lot of inspiration here. Sam Raimi took a lot from, the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
So much of it you can just point straight here. Like, even the horror-esque Doc Ock reveal is basically just what Sam Raimi did later on.
Anyone for sushi? That's what he says. Or like calamari. That bit's sick in that movie too, dude. Later on, it might be the next Doc Ock arc, actually, Hollywood, where it's literally the Raimi movie.
Oh, yes.
Tobey Maguire appears.
Oh, it's either Tobey Maguire or Arachno.
Arachno Man.
I got the issue. I got the Arachno Man one. But
yeah,
like for that scene, Sam Raimi just sort of honed in on his horror love.
Yeah,
like he just showed off that he knows how to do horror.
But it's still not nearly as scary as Green Goblin pretending he's an old lady in the fire.
What about even when he's like, I can't remember if it was Norman thinking, and then that image of like Green Goblin just rising up and screaming.
Yeah, where Peter's like sleeping in the hospital, and it just goes rah out of nowhere. Huh?
He's unhinged, right? I still like William Dafoe's just.
Oh, he's who I read. That's what I forgot to ask you last time. Who's your voice cast for this? And include like the old one as well. For all the issues we've read until now.
I think for Norman, it bounces between Dafoe and the Norman from Spectacular.
I knew you were going to say him.
Because Pardon?
I knew you were going to say him from Spectacular, because he was pretty good.
His voice is so good. And Peter, I think we said Peter before, where it was like a mix of Spectacular and
Yeah.
The Ultimate Spider-Man
Josh
game.
Keaton and Sean Marquis. Or Marquette,
Gwen was
whatever one
hard
it was.
because like Gwen doesn't fit any of the Gwens we've really heard.
True.
So that was like what I was trying to figure it out in my head, but I just sort of made a voice for her.
Yeah, mine's like, I
But
can only describe it as like generic female 2 from like a random video game for Gwen.
what about
It wasn't
who
ever
was your
stolen.
like Norman?
My Norman's always Willem Dafoe, no matter like what I'm reading, because he's just ingrained into my mind. Peter, like you said, I'm actively trying to make him Josh Keaton, but it keeps slipping back to the Ultimate game. But I don't mind because he did great
Mate,
as well.
when he says in the comics, "What is wrong with you?" There's no other voice that I like. It's Sean Marquette. Because I remember the bridge scene with Silver Sable.
What is wrong with you? Yeah. Oh, he's boss, dude. Otto
That's all I
was
think about.
Alfred Molina, even though he was much more shredded.
No, it works so well for it.
Yeah. Mary Jane was the game one as well. The Ultimate Spider-Man game one, I mean.
Oh yeah, because it's perfect, mate. Like that's
Yeah.
You couldn't get better.
Yeah.
It's really not
I
done.
can explain the butt thing, by the way. Please don't. Who else have we had? Captain Stacy's from Spectacular as well, in my mind.
Yeah, Clancy Brown, mate. You can't get better. Even I thought the Tasm one works too, because just the way he's a bit more younger.
He's not alone. That one. Oh, he's a famous actor as well, but I can't remember his name.
I could have sworn that movie based their Captain Stacy off this one, even with the attitude he has. It's like this is the ultimate Captain Stacy.
Yeah, like he's just pissed off all the time. Isn't he? Speaking of that movie, dude, we keep getting sly hints of the lizard. Like we've heard about monsters in the sewers from the Daily Bugle, and there's literally on a telly screen.
Making fun of him for that.
Yeah, on the telly screen when it's reporting about Dr. Octopus, it says the hunt for the lizard, but that's resolved in Marvel Ultimate Team Up.
Oh yeah,
later on we do
how they just mentioned it.
It's weird because later on, Dr. Connors is like an important part of a story, and he just goes, "Oh yeah, you saved me from the lizard thing," and you're like, "When? When the hell was this?" So I don't know if we'll have to jump over to read that. Annuals as well get a bit dodgy.
I don't know. Annual issue. Was it 2 or 3? The one with Kitty Pryde. That's like the important one because don't they break up in that annual?
No, that's when they get together because she rings him and it's like, "Do you want to hang out?" And he's like, "What? Like with the X-Men?" She goes, "No, oh, just me." But Annual 3, I think, is important as well later on because it's got his first fight against Mysterio.
Just you, just me. As in
me?
Just you.
So we'll have to find a correct reading order. You would think, seeing as they're called annual, every 12 issues would be one, but no.
It's like annuals are weird to me, because they're welcomed, but at the same time, a lot of them feel like a cash grab.
When it's like when you got to buy every annual to get a full story, like friggin' Atlantis Attacks or whatever, or the Vibranium Vendetta. Have you ever read that one?
When was that?
Oh man, that was like the 90s or something. It was Spidey, Iron Man, and Black Panther, and it was like part one was an Iron Man annual. I remember the Spider-Man annual just opens with him being like shrunk down because of pin particles, and he's talking to Mary Jane, and he's tiny, and she's like, "This will wear off, won't it?" And he's like, "I don't know."
Oh, that one. I couldn't. I remember him being small, but I don't remember the actual rest of it.
And I was saying. So we'll have to figure out some sort of reading order for them. Because if we're gonna get to this lizard bit, and then he's like, you helped me when I was a lizard. We'll be like, well, when the hell did that happen?
I don't know, I feel like we could get away with it just because of how condensed the book actually is.
Ironically, this is what New Ultimate needs, some sort of ultimate team up where we can get more stories. Annual 1 is the Kitty Pryde one. And it says...
There's an annual 1. I have that issue.
So he's broke up with Mary Jane, so it's after Venom. But before... Oh, I don't even know. We'll figure it out as we go.
Also, we forgot to mention, Eddie Brock was here.
This pisses me off, dude. Thank God you brought it up. They specifically say this is Eddie Brock from the Daily Globe. And then literally, in a few issues' time, Peter Googles Eddie Brock and goes, oh, there's only one in all of New York. And he's not this Daily Globe dickhead. He works at the school. So it's like, what the hell? Why is there a random reference? Like, it's like in Spider-Man 1, where he's like, Eddie's been looking for days and couldn't get a picture. And then Spider-Man 3 is like, this is new guy, Eddie Brock.
It's weird, mate, because, even like his suit didn't even feel like him because all you could see was the suit.
It's like tartan blue, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, who's this guy?
Yeah, like colorful checkered thing. It was like, ew. What about who did you hear for your voice with Kraven? Aussie accent aside.
Just generic Australian accent, like Jay's uncle from the In-Betweeners movie too.
One of them X-Men.
It's like one of them Sinister Six freaks.
When I think of like a Russian voice,
yeah,
I don't know like how much of a random pool this is, but I like to hear the TASM 2 video game Kraven.
Fred Tatascore, mate.
A real
The one who
hunter,
does
never.
current Rhino in the games.
Yeah, like just there's something about like I think he was the best part of that entire game.
Yeah, well,
Hunter never reveals.
he was cool as hell in that.
Still a
I'm
bit of
trying
a
to see
moron
what
for like
the...
training Spidey than trying to kill him.
Nah, he wanted the challenge, didn't he, dude? I think the next batch, yeah, has a problem. Well, not problem. The Goblin story goes for about 6 issues. And then the next story is the Spider-Man Doppelganger, which is only 4 issues. So it's like, we'll need to probably add that on to the Venom stuff. Or do we do Goblin and Doppelganger?
Yeah, we can do that, I think, because the Venom is like so big for its own.
Yeah. So we're on 22 now. 27 finishes this Goblin arc. But if we do from 22 to, is it 33? I think 32. So 10 issues, yeah, that's reasonable.
Comic Geekers.
Well, that's what we've done there.
From 22 up to, is it 26?
30, yeah. Or was it 27? 27. Illegal. It's where Spidey starts his OnlyFans.
and then we go up to 32 as well.
Yeah.
So from like 22 to 32.
For the best, yeah, mate. Oh, they stopped putting the... Well, this one doesn't have its side title. No, they all say like reflections of on. Venom says origins, but 32 just has a weird shade of beige.
I'm looking for...
Look at issue 32's cover, dude. It's like the weird CGI shiny Spider-Man on a real picture of New York. That was slapped together, that, mate. I'm sorry, but
I do think, like,
who was editor-in-chief?
what's one of the best
Crusader.
I like
Shoulda
issue
known.
15. Issue 15's cover's pretty good.
Let's have a go. Oh, yeah, mate. Where he's, like, posing halfway on the pipe. Posing on the pipe, it is an OnlyFans. I do think it's a bit...
I subscribed. You subscribed.
I do think it's a bit shit how, like, most of the covers until now have had nothing to do with the contents of the book. Like, now and then there'll be one of the Green Goblin. It's showing off this new...
show of, like, hey, how cool is he?
Yeah, the computer... It's like, look what we can make on computers. But every now and then, when the cover's relevant, like all the Venom ones are relevant, issue 49's very relevant, dude. It's got Big Fisk coming at him.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Issue 13. Issue 12 and 13 are pretty relevant.
Are they the ones with Electro hanging out?
Issue 12 is, and issue 13
that's cool.
is when he's holding the mask. And
I thought this was a chase, not a freaking walk in the park.
Not a walk in the park.
I'm replaying that soon, dude. Issue 10 does look pretty sick, yeah. The game did so much better than the comic in adapting the story. Like, when the comic gets to where the game's meant to happen, it's all jumbled, it's all shit. Like, the art hasn't got Bagley. They butcher the story of the game and kind of ruin Ultimate Venom. But that's a tale for another podcast.
That is an annoying thing of how that was meant to be. Like it was meant to be a continuation, but they just sort of like fucked up the continuation.
Yeah, they should have just said, "Listen, this takes place." They should have just skipped the arc and just went, "Okay, the game happens here," because the game hasn't got Gwen or nothing to like contradict.
Yeah, I mean that is like she wasn't even in the character models.
Yeah, Kong was. Dave Bendis made sure of that.
Fucking, of course he was. You could not, like... Do you think it's even funny how he was the one to figure it out?
Yeah, because he's definitely like done it on purpose to give himself. But then he had a character draw a knife on himself.
Maybe he's just into it.
Maybe. And then when we get Kitty, it goes into overdrive, mate. It's abysmal. Who's your favourite so far? How would you rank? We've had 5 supervillains. How would you rank them?
I think Kraven's probably the weakest.
Bottom, yeah. Just because we've seen
like, decent.
Before he revealed how shit he was, it could have been cool. But it's because we've seen how badass Kraven can be in other stories, and then seeing him treated as a joke here is a bit shit.
And like, so I got like Kraven bottom. I mean, is this just like the current state of the villains we've got? So like current state Green Goblin?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good, like, yeah, he's gonna ascend. In my rankings, it goes Kraven, then Goblin. But Goblin's probably gonna ascend pretty soon.
Oh, wait, what about Shocker?
Oh, shit, yeah, we've had 6. I'd still put Kraven below him, because Shocker at least, like, did a crime and was gonna get away with it before Spidey stopped him. Kraven just showing up to be a dickhead.
You got Kraven, Shocker, Green Goblin, Electro. No, wait. Like the Enforcers, then Electro.
I wouldn't even count the Enforcers.
Then Kingpin, and then we'll go Doc Ock is the best so far. But he's been like
more
definitely
or less in
most
agreement. Yeah. most threatening as well. Like, I know Fisk got his mask off in him and that, but Doc Ock could have killed him.
I love how he was more confused as well, like Doc Ock with Peter.
Yeah, he keeps asking, like, what the hell are you? Are you another one of Hammer's freaks? And Spidey's like, no, I'm a freak all my own, thanks very much. What did you think was the funniest joke in this arc then? Because I know what my favourite one was.
As I, I think for some reason my mind remembered when it's like that. It's two jokes in one scene where Spidey says like, "Oh, you don't know him, but if he made like pastry rolls or something, you'd know you'd know everything about him." And then he's like, "Electra, kill him." He's like, "Electro,
Electro.
For some reason, that just keeps playing in my head.
It's pretty funny. In this very story, where Dr. Octopus is being the shit out of Spider-Man, and he goes like, he says to him like, "Are you one of Hammer's new genetic monsters?" And then Peter goes, "No, I'm the haircut police. there's a tax for bowl cuts in this area."
He was even like, he didn't even have a proper bowl cut as well.
Let me find it that quick. It might be not 17 because he's already had the shit beat out of him, Must be issue 18 because 17 ends with him like with Doc Ock behind him. Like, what the hell is this? Right.
I mean, he
issue
did
18
as well, mate. He pulled down his pants.
Yeah, he did. On telly as well. Weapon. Oh yeah. Doc Ock goes, "What are you? Law enforcement? Shield? Oh yes, I know. You're one of Justin Hammer's homemade soldiers. Is that the case?" And Peter goes, "Oh no, I'm the haircut police. There's a $50 fine for bowl cuts in the city." And then Doc Ock goes, "I like my hair." Good for you, also.
He'd feel sort of bad, wouldn't he? Like after you shit.
It's like, why do you hear me this way? Like it. That's right, when he does the homage to ASM3 as well, where he's got hold of him.
Oh, yes.
No, I love Spectacular. The cartoon Spectacular waited for episode 8 to do Doc Ock. I always thought issue 8 of Amazing Spider-Man should have been Doc Ock. Not with this one, because only when I read Treachery.
When he's like stubby Doc Ock. Treachery!
Treachery! This one's too madly buff.
He does fit like Milena's voice pretty well.
Yeah.
Even they had like that trench coat look as well that they used.
Literally.
In Spider-Man 2.
When he returns in the Hollywood arc, there's a cover that is literally from Spider-Man 2. Like, it's just Alfred Molina in like the trench coat without the shirt. Let me try and find that quick. I'm normally good at jumping around.
Which issue or which story do you prefer more for Doc Ock? The like movie one or this one?
The movie one made him sympathetic, which I don't think every villain needs to be sympathetic. Like, there should be some bastards out there.
Do you think that poor woman that he killed just because she was in his house?
Yeah. It wasn't ass, was he? Just take it down.
I'm sure she would have left if he just asked.
Huh. Could have scared her off. Could have. He didn't even keep the house though, did he? He then went on the run again. Like, he wasn't operating out of the house.
Do you think
like his master planner like?
Like the Bugle was being a bit stupid when Urich's like, "I'm telling you, this is Doc Ock," and then they're like, "No, what? No, that can't be."
He's always been a bit dodgy, Jonah, though, and he remember with he told when there was an explosion at Norman Osborn's facility, and he was like, "This isn't front page news. The guy in his pajamas jumping around town is front page news." And you're like, "No, I think this should still probably make the news." Oh, found it. Issue 55, Hollywood Part 2, is literally like trench coat Doc Ock.
Is that when it's just like his silhouette and he's?
I'll send it here over the WhatsApp because it's clearly the whole Hollywood arc is taking the piss out of. Yeah, you got it.
Even the tentacles have the red eyes.
Yeah. What do you think of his tentacles in this, dude? Because they're not just clamps. They turn into machine guns and flamethrowers and all sorts.
I want to be my own creation. He definitely just had some like severe issues.
Yeah,
because he was so scared of like in his head being Justin Hammer's creation.
Yeah, he does say, doesn't he? He's like, "I'm not going to be the monster other men want me to be." It's
yeah,
like it's going to be one all his own. Because they turn into machine guns, they turn into tasers, and at a certain point, it gets a bit over the top. It's like some guy, like thinking, "How can I make Doc Ock edgy?" Surprised didn't have like swords on the end of his hands instead.
It's the most like Spawn thing, you know, a machine gun just randomly come out.
But they seem to be made from some weird like liquid metal because they're shifting, aren't they? They're always flowing into these new weapons. So what the hell are they made? I thought they were just arms.
And then Spidey ripped one of them off, and he didn't really react.
Yeah, which compared to amazing. Yeah, go on. During the Owl Octopus War.
Or like just if he rips off the tentacle, like he feels the pain of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Consider it is connected to his spinal cord.
Yeah, yeah. And like there's a mental link where he says he feels them in him as if they are his arms. And in Amazing, after the Dr. Octopus shoots Black Cat and Spidey's pissed, he rips one out, doesn't he? And Doc Ock goes unconscious from the pain, even though he shouldn't have really felt anything.
That issue is crazy, mate, because she got covered in bullet holes and somehow lived.
Yeah, mate. That was like one issue before we met the Gladiator as well. And he's a Spider-Man villain in this. You never see Gladiator fight Daredevil in the Ultimate Universe, but you do see him fight Spider-Man.
Fucking Gladiator, what a legend.
My hero, mate. Big Melvin.
I can't believe the MCU ignored him.
Oh, no. At least he didn't kill him off.
Could you imagine that? The funeral, but it's just Matt there, not even his Betsy.
Not even Betsy went. No.
Where was he, mate?
Oh, don't ask that about Born Again. Where was Brett? Where was Marcy? Where was Melvin and friggin' the rest of the... Where's Fisk's mum? We met her in season 1 and then never seen her again. No, she's got dementia. But, like, is she just chilling in Italy somewhere? She was like a plot point. She was why he killed Ben. And then she just doesn't reappear.
If Matt needs an army, surely he'd go to Gladiator for some help.
Yeah, the dude gears people up in body armor, mate. You would defo think. We're getting all these news like Jessica Jones is coming into Daredevil. It's okay, cool, but where the hell's Big Mel?
It would have been... Would Born Again have been saved for you if, in the finale, when they reveal his team, Gladiator was there in his first, like, full-on costume?
I would have liked Bullseye, yeah. Got Daredevil on the ropes, and he's like, "Oh, poor little Matt Murdock, all alone." And then suddenly you hear, "He's not alone," and a razor blade comes flying. It's Gladiator. Masterpiece.
He needs to come back, right?
He was sick. They got like the best actor they could find for him and then never used him.
Oh, but remember, he used the razors in one of the fight scenes. Like, he grabbed it.
Oh, he threw a razor and that's all you're getting. Unlucky. Why are they so scared?
He casually wore the most comic accurate, like, just shirt for some reason.
I forgot about that. He literally wears the shirt, his logo, his armor, and they never do nothing with it. They made the costume department design the perfect comic accurate armor, and then never really used it.
It's like, who wears that? Like, who would just wear that as a normal shirt?
It's clearly like a logo, isn't it? So he put thought into it in universe. My God, born again. Get real.
We could have had it all if they just actually tried.
I'm defo gonna email Marvel and tell them, hand over the rights to me.
Well, if Jerry Conway could do it.
Literally. I'm gonna email them, we're gonna go, listen, it's not working, fellas. Can I have a go, please?
What are the odds that would have actually worked?
Oh. I can only imagine they get thousands of them a day now of like teenagers writing in saying, I've got this many views on fanfiction.net and I can save Spider-Man.
They laugh as they return, they reunite Peter and Paul. Peter and Paul like start dating.
Just like in the Bible. You got Peter, Paul, and Mary. That's literally.
It's the only way they can go now is like Peter and MJ are done. It's time for Peter and Paul now.
Can't they like literally never make Spider-Man, not make Peter Parker gay? Because Stan Lee writ it in his rules. Do you remember
for, like,
that?
In general, for like Sony, or was it? I can't remember. Like,
it was for Sony because another rule was Spider-Man can't deal drugs unless he's in the black suit. Imagine that, dude.
It's Spider-Man 3. That's how Harry starts his drug addiction. It's because Spider-Man stole him drugs.
You got the stuff.
Why on earth would Spider-Man be in a situation where he'd have to sell drugs? Why was he worried about that? Who was like planning to do it? Was like Avia Rad like, and I'm gonna have him sell drugs instead?
You know, in the Spectacular cartoon where he goes to Tombstone and he's like, if that deal's still available, I'm in. Tombstone's like, good, sell this to every kid on the block. That was more Kingpin, that. I can't do Keith David's voice. Good.
Keith David's voice.
Sell this to every.
Keith David's voice is perfect, mate. You could do like literally anyone.
He's my Tombstone as well. When yeah,
His
he
is
the Spawn. He's the Spawn by far. He's the Kevin Conroy of Spawn.
Warner Brothers is wasting him, mate. He's sitting right there. Just continue the show.
He was in Mortal Kombat, wasn't he?
Yeah, is he like the detective? He's a friend. the Batman reference.
Oh yeah, of course. Because Batman met them in Mortal Kombat versus DC, which that Catwoman, mate. Have you ever seen her?
Yeah, I used to have that game as a kid.
She's not hiding anything, that Catwoman, mate. Where was that suit in Arkham City?
Mate, Arkham City Catwoman, like especially in the remastered version, is pretty like risky.
Yeah,
with her outfit. Do you want like I saw Invincible's getting a game like this?
Apparently, yeah.
Do you want like a Marvel game that's similar, or would it just be not even something you'd bother with?
Marvel Injustice, mate. Well, I'm trying to. I've never been big on like 2D fighters. I've never been good at them. That's a big part of why. But after seeing how Injustice just shat the bed, like in everything, I certainly wouldn't want Mortal. Even Mortal Kombat got weird. Like they rebooted it, but halfway through the new one, they basically acknowledged they rebooted it, and then stuff from the old universe comes back anyway. So it wasn't really a reboot. It was more them invading a fresh universe. It got weird.
It's like those games are basically like just simple fighters, and the complex story just seems a bit unnecessary to me.
They treat it a bit like a movie, don't they? Like, from Mortal Kombat 9 up until now, it's been like an ongoing story of everything going to shit and like clawing it back, but it was quite shit as well. Injustice, as I said, bottled it with the second one. Like, even the story's unsalvageable, just bin it. But we are getting this Marvel 4-on-4, aren't we? Which...
Yeah, it's just still, it's not like it feels more in the style of like, it just doesn't feel like Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, it won't be like Mortal Kombat. It'll be more like Street Fighter. I don't even think there'll be a story, or they haven't said that there'll be a story, but it'll just be jump in and punch people. They Arc
I don't even think we know.
Made a Dragon Ball game as well, which while it played well, that story was shit as well. So I don't think we can look forward to like the next coming of like Ultimate Alliance. That's what I want.
Other games, like, didn't Wonder Woman get cancelled?
It did. Didn't Black Panther as well? Was that the one where he was teaming up with Captain America? Like it was in World War II.
That one might still be on the cards.
They just need to make more Ultimate Alliance. You got everyone in. You can play as who you want.
Mate, what about the Wolverine game? Is that
Are we
still
getting
happening?
I don't think I'll be playing it after the shit show of Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Insomniac just like... I understand they got hacked, but at the same time, like, you still had a product, and not even having any DLCs insane.
It's crazy how shit can just get cancelled nowadays. I think the open world aspects takes away an awful lot as well. Like, Shattered Dimensions was great, and it's level-based. Adding an open world just seems to, like, you have to push everything into graphics. You have to craft, like, a unique city. Even if it's just New York again, you've still got to, like, do all these little touches, like specific graffiti and all that bullshit. Let's go back to the days of PS1.
Well, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, is a more linear game.
Is that like mission based?
Yeah, and it's like way better than like so many new games we've got.
Let's leave the open world to GTA.
Well, because it's like actually really good.
Yeah, you were saying the other day Fin Fang Foom turns up. That's
you fight him, yeah.
Yeah, that's baller.
Jack Flag's there, and he's in a cell. And depending on what you do, you can either send him off to be doomed forever in space, or you can leave him in his cell.
Jack Flag, like the Captain America dude.
Yeah, because I think he goes into space. Like, he was even in the 2008 run. I'm pretty sure.
When I did that Venom video, Jack Flag turned up because the Thunderbolts target him, and I remember thinking, this dude is sick. He's got like a boss. He looks like Grifter with like his mask.
Yeah,
but he's like
his long hair too.
Yeah, he was. I remember thinking he was boss. I didn't know he was in it too. Oh, of course, Mark Gruenwald, you legend. That's sick. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy,
like, yeah. Easter eggs.
On his Wikipedia, yeah, he goes the negative zone prison bullshit, and he goes with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's boss.
There's a mission where you explore nowhere, and in nowhere you can go to the Collector's Emporium, and there's just a bunch of Easter eggs. Like, you find like Nova, like Richard Rider's helmet.
Oh, sick,
you find like the Eye of the Watcher. I'm pretty sure you find like Kang's chair. You find. I remember you find Stanley's glasses.
You know, we invented those.
We needed. I couldn't see, so I said to Jack, "Your artwork, I can't see it anymore."
Yeah, we're shook.
I think there was like
And
a
the
Galactus thing there as well.
oh, sick dude, the World Eater himself.
There's a book that says SRA. Like it might be. Wait, let me check the website.
It's out to SR Striker. Can't believe
You
he
get
got in
Nova's
Marvel's
helmet?
Guardians of the Galaxy. And Jack Flag got doused in Mr. Hyde's chemicals, so there's the connecting tissue.
Oh, poor guy, mate.
It all comes
Mr. Hyde
back.
just is a loony. Oh, there's the ultimate
Prefer
nullifiers
Cobra.
in the museum.
Shit. What's that? What's the collector doing with that, mate? Get that back to the Baxter building now.
Sword of Heimdall. The Superhuman Registration Act, so Civil War happened.
It's just there. It's just like they've got the documents. Shouldn't that be in Washington or something?
Cosmic glasses, which is Stan Lee's glasses.
Is there any like symbiote stuff, like a weird rock?
Well, there's one of Yondu's arrows. Brood Queen. No way.
Movie synergy.
Brood Queen. Frog. Yolnir.
Frog Thor.
Yeah.
Leapfrog's boots. I love seeing shit like this.
Murdoch's glasses.
Oh, yes. Like in that Spidey PS4, I had like the newspapers of every time he'd taken down a supervillain.
Oh, yeah.
Like showing the past to do like these. Arkham was great for these though, dude, weren't he? Like Arkham Asylum, knowing like there's Calendar Man's cell because it's just littered with letters.
Harvey Dent's one.
Yeah, dude.
Full of vote Dent.
Fantastic for Easter eggs.
Blade of Itchor.
There's a lot of high power items in this one location. Is this not
Mandarin's rings?
What? Then where's the Mandarin if he's not got him?
Monster from Planet X. Rapture amulet. Oh, Darkhawk. Oh my god, that's Darkhawk's amulet? No way. Firelord's cosmic staff.
Right, that should not be in there, mate. That's like having the Surface surfboard in there. Where are these?
Snowboard
how did he acquire that?
He's got the Hyde formula.
Why has he got some random? Why has the collector got some random Earth scientists special juice?
I forgot that he actually had Throg just in the tube.
Really, just chilling.
Yeah, like it's like he's almost been stuffed though, so I'm not sure if he's okay.
He's been taxidermied. Oh, that's cool as that.
The Eye of the Watcher's sick, and like even just like seeing Firelord, Darkhawk, Watcher, and Galactus in the same sort of area is just so cool. Considering we haven't had that in years. But overall, mate, what did you think of this batch of Ultimate Spider-Man?
Still going strong. He's the characters are written well, and they're written like correct. If I'm honest, like this is how a teenager would act in this situation. The villains are getting better and better. It's mostly just like the school stuff nowadays because obviously now I'm an adult. Some of the school stuff I'm just kind of like, okay, skipping around. Like when he lets himself get kicked into the locker by Kong to cover his secret identity. Like I see why he done it, but I'm also kind of like, all right, now Spider-Man's crying.
He like brought his A game to act that out.
Yeah,
because Ewan's like, now it's like time for the best amateur performance.
Very like some of the writing is getting very dramatic. Like where Gwen says to Captain Stacy, she's like, "You didn't once ask me why I pulled a knife on him. You're just concerned that I did it." And as I'm sitting there, like, I'm seeing it more from Captain Stacy's point of view nowadays. I'm more like, Jesus Christ, you pulled a knife on a kid in school. You're lucky you're not arrested. If your dad wasn't police captain, you'd be done.
You would. Yeah, it's
I'm sure.
I mean, it
when
gets like even more dramatic, like right in the next few issues we've got.
Yeah. So, like, I'm sure back in the day, reading this when I was like that age, I was probably like, yeah, she's right that she was stopping a bully, but now I'm like, fucking hell, love. Very like bit of an overreaction. I am certainly enjoying it though. Yeah, he just called her a skank and moved on.
What did she say? Like, oh, what the fuck did she say? It's something about birth defect or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have been listening
Bendis really
to
nailed the cynical like insults teenagers would just randomly throw out.
That's, you know what, before we go off, we're on about the lizard thing happening in a completely unrelated book. The same thing happens to this become a superhero presentation that it starts with. Like, that doesn't get resolved in Ultimate Spider-Man, but he does the presentation later on in a different book. Which was years.
I thought it was like Liz was trying to get it cancelled, which was, I guess we understand why.
That could have been a good way to dodge it. Oh, she talks about her uncle going missing. And there's a spoiler for you. Her uncle is the Blob. That's why she's yeah, dude. That's why she's so dodgy about like all this mutant shit. She's like, well, my uncle's gone missing. It might have been annual too, actually. Let me have a quick glimmer through. Because he defo does do the presentation. Tastes like chicken. He defo does the presentation, but it's got like a somber, like he learns a lesson out superheroing that makes him like treat it a bit grimmer. Because it wasn't annual 2, that's the one with the Punisher. Annual thought, David LaFuente, bugger off, dude, you're so shit. After what we've had, like,
I love
I had to cover my ass
how he keeps making fun of Daredevil.
Yeah, but this Daredevil deserves it. This Daredevil's an asshole. I think it's called Ultimate Daredevil and Elektra, which has like their backstory, and it's shit. Even their Bullseye, because for some reason the Ultimate Universe kind of mixes Bullseye with Hawkeye, but they do have a Bullseye in that, but he's shit and he like dies after like 2 pages.
It's definitely just a thing of like the Spider-Man series is once again the best out of the bunch.
That is the curse of Marvel. No matter what new thing they try, people only care about Spider-Man. Which is fine by me because he's my favourite.
Yeah, like he deserves the best treatment, and it's just like he always does in most cases, except 616.
Literally, dude, what the fuck? You're right. Every other Spider-Man is so much better. But let's not dwell on the shit when we've got absolute cool guy stuff coming up, dude. Green Goblin makes his grand return. Actually, as a character.
And MJ freaks out really badly this time.
Yeah.
Doesn't she?
She does indeed, mate. With reason, I suppose. There's a fun fake out next time as well that I always enjoy. Like, I won't spoil it now, but we'll get to that. They make you think something's happened because it mirrors something that happened in Amazing Spider-Man.
The cover of, I think, issue 25 is very, very much so reminiscent of something.
Oh, this is why only fools are heroes. Absolute legend, my
we
hero.
we've been the panel pals,
And we shall continue
and
to be so.
go read Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh no, I've accidentally pressed chat on Craig. Craig, no. Join in the comments if you've read this as well. Like, what was your favourite story so far? Who's your top villain so far? And what are you looking forward to?
What about you,
Not
Craig?
you, Craig. Yeah, not you, Craig. Just start the recording, Craig. Asshole. Any final words?
No, that was my final. The read Ultimate, because it's just
Yeah,
it's one of the best you'll ever read for Spidey.
yeah, mate.
I think we'll ever top it.
Especially, it just captures what you love about him, and it's
He's even
obviously
just
much better than the current.
he's also got like a bit more angst, but it's not over. Like it doesn't feel like too much. It
It
feels just
feels
right.
more real, yeah. It's not like overly done. Like I always blame Aunt May, but it's not just my aunt's dying and I'm too busy out saving lives to sit with her. This is actual, like, Jesus Christ, she's all I've got. If I die, we're done.
And he actually has proper reasons to get like annoyed, like a teenager. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm grounded now.
he's
Whereas in
grounded.
616, it was, oh, I need to do a blood transfusion.
Did that ever happen on panel? Because I'm sure even Stan says, like, we forgot when this happened. I'm sure the issue just the Master Planet arc opens with her already in hospital, but I'm sure she was okay like one issue before.
I remember, I think I was trying to find it one time, and it took me like forever just searching through all the classic
I,
issues because I just
I
had
don't
no clue.
remember. I do not remember him on screen giving her a blood transfusion. But,
He
so,
probably didn't.
if you're going to do
Good riddance.
crime, if you're going to do super crime, do it now because Spider-Man's grounded.